Written assignment. Design a circuit and incorporate the principles of Ohm's law. Instructions. Circuit design task. Step 1. Utilizing the principles of Ohm's law, design a simple circuit that includes a power source, a bulb, and a resistor. Step 2. Create a labeled hand-drawn diagram of the design circuit. Step 3. In 2 to 300 words, describe how Ohm's law applies to the design circuit and include how voltage, current, and resistance relate to each other. And then once you're finished with that, how to submit work, you're going to submit the assignment as a single Word document, include all the solutions to Ohm's law problems, incorporate a labeled circuit diagram, then you're going to write an explanation about the function of the design electrical circuit and include how concepts such as voltage, current, and resistance apply. Now below, I'm going to go ahead and click on the example. This is what your finished example should look like. We've got a power source, we have a resistor, and we have a bulb. And we've taken the total circuit resistance here, which is 4 ohms. We've got our source voltage at 12 volts. We take 12 volts divided by 4 ohms. That means we're going to have 3 amps moving through this circuit. Now, if you're confused on how to construct one of these diagrams, I'm just going to give you a quick explanation on how. Okay, what I've done is I go and search the web, and I'll put 12-volt bulb. Look, I've got a bunch of bulbs that come up. Then I click on images, and I'll just look for a 12-volt bulb that I can make a connection on. This one looks good here. Here's a decent 12-volt bulb. And if I hit Shift Windows S, I can then copy that bulb. So I'm going to go ahead and put a box around that bulb. I've now copied that bulb to my clipboard. Now I'm going to go back to my presentation and go ahead. I'll just paste that bulb into there. Let's get it set up so that it's a bit better. Okay, and then we can rotate it as well. By right-clicking on it, brings up a sub-menu. I can rotate that clockwise. Okay, so now I brought myself in a bulb. Now I need a power source. Well, we'll just say 9-volt battery. I like using vector images. All right, there we go. We've got a 9-volt battery there. So if we, again, Shift Windows S, I'm going to go ahead and put a box around our battery. I'll go back to my presentation. Let's paste that battery in there. I even got the VecDeasy on there on the bottom, and that's okay. No worries. Okay, now we've got our power source. And I said we needed a resistor, correct? All right, so let's do that. Let's Google resistor. Now go to the images, find one single resistor that I can use. Let's see. This one looks good here. That's the symbol for a resistor. If I hit Shift Windows S, I can go ahead and bring that resistor into the document. So I've copied that. I'll go ahead and paste that. I think I'm going to go ahead and rotate that as well so I can make it similar to the one I built previously. Now we'll make it a little bit smaller. All right, that was the easy part. We went ahead and we brought in our battery, our bulb, and then our resistor. Now the next part, if you just click up here where it says line, you can change the color of the lines. Always want you to be anatomically correct with the coloring when we're making circuit diagrams. So if it's positive, it's going to be red. If it's negative, it's going to be black. So right here, we're going to start with the negative. We're going to connect the negative terminal to one side of the bulb. So in this case, I would expect our line to be black. So I'm going to click on line, and I'm going to make myself a line going from the negative terminal of the battery to the bulb. And I'm going to make my line weight about four. Yeah, that looks good. And then we can change the color up here. I'm going to change that to black. Now, everything else after this is going to be red because we're positive. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and click on line again. Make another connection to the resistor. And I said that one's red. So we've got to change the color up here to red. Okay, so now we've got our red line. I'm going to change the weight to 4. Okay, let's get it a little closer there. Okay, that looks good. All right, excellent. Then I need one more line to make the circuit function. And again, since we're on the feed side of the circuit or the positive side of the circuit, we're going to go ahead and make that line red as well. And then we'll change to 4 point. And looks like we're good to go. We've got one completed circuit here. Once you're done with this, you can take a screenshot of it by hitting Shift Windows S. and get a copy of it. Then what you're going to do is you're going to bring it down into a document and you're going to paste that into a Word document. I'll see if I can fix it a little bit here. And then once you paste it in the Word document, you're going to write a 200 to 300 word paragraph about how Ohm's law applies to this circuit, including the calculations between volts, amps, and resistance. And this ends the demonstration for this assignment.